Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EuroSOF race. Yes, the race has already happened. No, I don't know the result, and I don't want to know it because I want to do this as well as we can to know how this goes on. So please stick with us. It's going to be live, even though it's not live. So let's have a look at how EuroSOF went on at week 5 at VIR. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EuroSOF here at VAR. It is week 5. It's coming to the midpoint of the season. We have a huge SOF of 5.4k. Huge in, nobody under 4k. It's a complete cut-off for anybody under 4k, which is amazing. Let's see how the grid lined up for that race. I don't know why it's not letting me show the grid, but we'll see. Okay, bear with us. We're going to jump out, save it, and go back in because I think because of it being a replay. Formula Ford VAR. The actual thing thinks we're finished, so we've got to go back in via replay files. So that's all. Just bear with us. Talk among yourselves. We'll be back in a minute. So just for all your informations, we are just loading back in to the replay file so that we can race again. Yeah, honestly, I talk to myself a lot as well. When are you next out on Alpha Live, by the way? Crispin, are you back out any other time of the season? We're just heading back in. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Just 10% to load in. Here we go. There we go. Got it properly done now. Let's get to the end of the start of a race. Find somebody. Start of a race. Should go from there. Just bear with. We'll be there literally in 2 seconds. Here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EuroSOF, the EuroSOF of Formula Ford. On a Monday night, we have week 5 at VIR approaching us. You can see the cars are on the grid. We did have a sound issue earlier on, which is meant that this is being re-recorded, but I haven't seen the result. I don't know what happened, so it will all be as live, but obviously not quite live. Welcome all in, and let's see how it goes. We'll start off with the grid for the race around Virginia International Raceway. On pole position, the returning Jarno Markku puts it on pole, the Finn quickest in the qualifying session ahead of returnee Dario Frattini, who's alongside him. Crispin Williamson and Vuk Arsevic will be on the second row of the grid ahead of Edward Buchanan and Dennis Cav. Mikey Pollard and Alexander Ister round out your fourth row of the grid ahead of Mario Raz and Roald Defoe. Jason Chen and Frederick Surley round out your sixth row of the grid, while just behind that is championship leader Philip Lindquist and Reen Teesing. Graham Roy Hunt, Jake Williams and David Garrett will all be starting from the back with no time set. So we're now having a look at the front of the grid. There is Jarno Markku. The lights will come on and then we will be ready to go as the Formula Ford SOF take on the long track of VIR. And we're away here at VIR. It's a good start by the front row. Everybody slotting into the inside to get the slipstream down into turn number 1. Dario Frattini on the outside in the yellow and pink, just trying to challenge Jarno Markku on the outside into turn number 1, but he won't make it all the way around the outside. Markku will continue on. Graham Roy Hunt and Mario Raz have spun to the back of the field, so there's an incident there in turn number 1, but Frattini's up the inside and Frattini takes it down into turn number 3 as they head towards the S-Bends near the start of this lap. Jarno Markku just blinking out there. But Dario Frattini leads, Markku second, Williamson in third, and actually, apart from the top 2, the top 8 have all stayed in position with Jason Chen moving forward. Jake Williams up 4 positions already, one of the quickest drivers we see around this field. There in the McLaren-backed car, making his way through, and he has certainly got something to fight for from the back of the grid tonight as he goes around. Another driver there, I'm not sure exactly who that is. He's made it round. It looks like Teesing, but Williams already up to 11th place. But back at the front, Dario Frattini has a little bit of a lead. Apologies for that blink out there. We should be able to get coverage back in a second. There we go. And now Marku is having a look back at Frattini. He'll have the inside into the roller coaster. And Frattini has to give way into second place for now. Third place, there's Crispin Williamson in the yellow podded silver car. Wraith 1600s all for field here. And we'll just see how they come through the hog pen for the first time. And Marku will lead across the line with Darrell Frattini second, Crispin Williamson third, Vuk Artvich in fourth, Edward Buchanan and Dennis Cav rounding out your top six. As Dario again looks to the outside of the field. There's a whole group still slipstreaming each other, but Frattini round the outside of turn number one. He's done it, and he popped himself back to the front of the field, beating off the attentions of Jarno Marku. So as you can see, most of the field pretty close together at this stage, but Frattini leads, Marku second, Williamson first, third, and Artovich fourth. Frederick Surley fallen to the back of the field, 27 seconds off, and he has actually pitted for some damage. So Frederick Surley out of contention of this race. And in the background, that is Ronald Defoe falling down the field, and he's looks like he's hit the wall on the inside there. Will he get going again? And no, he toes to the pits, but Defoe now out of this race. It's Frattini taking him up to the oak tree for the second time. Gets a little bit wide on the second exit. That's going to give the rest of them a bit of a chance down this straight as they go past the old pit lane. Who will make the first move? It's Marku, who goes to the outside this time, heading towards the roller coaster. He will still have enough pace to get through. Williamson has a look as well. They go 3 wide down towards the roller coaster, and Crispin Williamson is going to come out of this with the lead, I think. He brakes late enough, keeps a little bit of a gap for Marku, and Williamson now leads the pack. Marku second, Frattini third. Still no other movements really in the midfield. Jake Williams, after that rapid start, up 6 positions into 10th. David Garrett also up 6 positions into 11th, but not closing in on the leaders at this stage. Marku looks to be outside. Fastest lap is falling downfield. It goes to David Garrett because of a slipstream. And Williamson defends down into turn number 1. Second Marku, third Frattini. We'll now go on board a little bit further back in the pack. Let's have a look at it from Jake Williams' perspective. That's Shen's perspective as Williams goes up the inside of him. And Williams moving himself up into 9th place, having a little bit of a battle here to try and get through this field. But doing so nonetheless. As they head through the snake bends of the second snake bends, I should say, on this circuit. Everybody just knows the tail. Williamson looking for a little bit of air just to help with the contact of the car. He's right up behind. Garrett runs wide through that corner, but he's right up behind Istad. He goes to the inside of Istad. Will he make it 2? No, Istad runs around the outside of him and will probably get the slightly better run. It depends where the slipstream goes as they head down towards the top end of the straight. Williamson still leading, but Marku now goes to the inside towards the roller coaster and will take the position away. Marku seems to be having a bit of problem with his connection, it seems, because every time we go to him it disappears slightly. Let's see if we can bring it back. Yes, we can. And yes, Frattini followed Marku through. Frattini up into 2nd place. Williamson down to 3rd on that lap. Arsenovich 4th. Still hasn't decided to make his move just yet. Bigger news as well. Down in 12th is our championship leader, Philip Lindquist. His consistency has put him on the podium 3 times in 4 races, but he's now leading the championship. But 12th place is not good enough for him to keep the championship lead. Second in the points is Jake Williams after missing a round, but that will change now. currently in their positions. Dennis Cav moves up ahead of Jukovic. Actually, they're swapping back and forward as Williamson stays around the outside of Marku and keeps that position. So Frattini, Williamson, Marku, Cav. Now, who's that flying downfield? That is Arsvenovic. There he is. He gets back going again, but now out of that lead group. And that, with that incident, Jake Williams taking total control of it, moving ahead of Dennis Cav and Edward Buchanan and Alex Ister. So up into 5th place now for Jake Williams, who will be looking to try and get past Mikey Pollard for 4th. Could this be a podium from the back of the field? Dennis Cav runs wide and is now falling down the field, so that's another one out of the lead group. Top 3 have pulled away. Then there's this battle for 4th. And then it looks like a battle for 8th, led by Jason Chen. So 3 distinct little groups here. A 3-car, a 4-car, and then it is the rest of the field. At the back of the field, Mario Raz, we know, retired earlier. Frederick Surley with his visit to pits and Ronald Defoe with his tow. Right at the back of the field, but Venovic has joined them now. And we're looking, that's Dario Frattini, I think. Was that Dario cutting right across the track there? Something must have happened at the roller coaster. Sadly, because we're on replay, we can't go back and have a look. But Dario with a huge lead, he'll have a huge slowdown to try and get rid of. And will he be able to slot back into 2nd place? Marku takes the lead of the race. Williamson was the other car who went off. Yeah, and Dario managed to get rid of that slowdown and only drop to 2nd place. So that's decent, but for him, Dennis Cav and Arsvenovic have joined the group in the pit lane. Whether they'll return to the race, we will wait and see. So Marku now has a little bit of a gap, 0.6 of a second ahead of Dario Frattini, and then half a second back from that is Crispin Williamson. If these all work together, they will move forward. But who is that hunting down Crispin Williamson? Yes, Jake Williams is back on the road. 12 places he's gone, 16th to 4th in what is only 4.5 laps at the moment, and we still have over half of this race to go. So Jake Williams well and truly in the hunt to try and win this one. Mikey Pollard just behind, another driver you got to watch out for. Edward Buchanan is there, and Alex Ister. I think that's a lead group, and then a little bit further back you will have a group with David Garrett, Philip Lindquist now into the top 10, Teesing and Chen trying to chase down this group in the background. Back up front, you can see the slipstream bringing them groups closer back together. Round to the pit straight they come for the 6th time. Marku leading Frattini, leading Williamson. Williams up to 4th. Pollard 5th. Buchanan 6th. Ister 7th. Those are the drivers who are in a chance of winning this race. Fastest lap of race by Jake Williams as he looks to the outside of Crispin Williamson. Doesn't quite make it through there, but the top 5 have sort of regained their composure and are back in as straight a line as possible as half the race has now gone. Half the race still to go. They come through. We'll take a few closer cameras at this point, and Dario Frattini just looking around, sniffing around the back of Marku, deciding whether to go for it or not. But the 5 just working together, trying to make sure that Edward Buchanan and Alex Ister are dropped enough to not become part of this pack, but they're still hanging on there as they head up to the oak tree for the 6th time. David Garrett runs wide on the run up to the oak tree, and that may give Philip Lindquist a chance to get up into the top 8. In the background you can see the 3 of them working hard to try and get back into this pack, but I think it's going to take some kind of incident in the top group to be able to catch that group up. Williamson now looks to be inside of Frattini. They go 3 wide because Frattini's alongside Marku. They go up into the corner for the 6th time, and it's Crispin Williamson, 3rd to 1st. Up, Marku down to 2nd. Frattini backed out. He's down to 3rd. And Williams there in 4th place. Through the hog pen they go. Nobody suggesting they've got any damage at this moment in time. Nobody dropping off the back consistently. But Edward Buchanan has rejoined the back of his pack now. And he's certainly one to watch out for. Edward Buchanan, who's had a consistent start to this season. As he looks, and the 3 wide in front of him. What's going to happen down into here? They all check up. And that's Marku round. Jarno Marku has spun around in the middle of the track at turn 1. And does that now put him out of this race as he falls behind Jason Chen into 11th place? Not sure what happened there. It looked like the 3 wide was not going to work in turn 1. And Marku was the driver who fell out of the running. But as you can see, that split the group up again. Williamson, Frattini and Williams all away. Then you've got Pollard just taking a watching brief, using his brain. Mikey Pollard being very quiet in this race so far, hanging around 4th, 5th, 6th, and just having a watching brief. It's something we've seen Philip Lindquist do very well throughout this season. So could this be where Mikey Pollard can take advantage of these fighting in front, as Frattini has a little lock-up looking at the inside of Williamson, doesn't manage to make it through. But again, Williamson tries to get rid of a slipstream early. Very difficult along this straight to get rid of a slipstream. Williams is having a look at Frattini. We're going to go 3 wide again as we head down towards the roller coaster. Williams on the right-hand side, Williamson on the left-hand side, and Frattini in the middle. And it's Williams who hits the front for the first time. Jake Williams hits the front after starting in 16th place. He has now got back up into 1st, where we normally see him qualify. But Marku took that point this time. But Williams made his way through what is a very strong field as well, up into 1st place. Now, can he hold it? Can he gap these? I expect not, as Williamson now looks to the inside. So it's outside, sorry. So Williamson alongside Williams come down into turn number 1. Williamson trying to turn it across the nose of Williams. He can't do it. And he'll probably fall back into line behind Williams. He has Dario. No, Williamson's still up the inside down into turn number 3 and makes it through in NASCAR bend. Great move there by Williamson. Set up at the 1st corner. Finished at the 3rd. And he now leads. But that's brought the group all back together again. So we've got Williamson, Williams, Frattini, Pollard, Buchanan and Ista. They are the 6 cars this race will be decided between if there is no more incidents during this race. Further behind, Garrett and Lindquist up into the top 8 ahead of Teesing and Marku. You can see the group of 3 just in the background, but we're going to keep our eyes on the leaders at this moment in time. There's too much going on at the front of this field to go looking back down the pack. And if you want to be on the screen, be quicker. Williamson leads. Williams in 2nd. Frattini in 3rd. If we go off the last few laps, Frattini could be leading into a roller coaster this time by. But there's a bit more gapping happening as Williamson is defended by Williams. As they head down, Williams goes to the outside and will have the inside into the roller coaster. So Williams, oh, there's contact and Williams is off. Williams is off in the fields. Williamson, and then there's contact between Frattini and Williamson. Williamson is off the track. Frattini's fallen down the order. And who pops up into the lead? It's Mikey Pollard. I said it not long ago. Mikey Pollard taking that watching brief. Edward Buchanan in 2nd. Ista in 3rd. These are pulled away. 4th place for our championship leader, Philip Lindquist. But complete drama there as Buchanan fights off the attentions of Ista. We will have a look after the race at what exactly happened with that incident, because we obviously can't take the replays at this moment in time. Williamson hits the pit lane. So he has substantial damage and falls down the field. Let's see how our other drivers are getting on from that one. Dario Frattini was spun round. He is in 7th place. Can he fight back in the remaining time that he's left in this race? Just 3.5 minutes. He's just ahead of Jarno Marco at this moment in time. There is Jake Williams, who may have some damage. Go on board with the Welshman. Doesn't look like there's too much damage to that car. Aero there will be, but not in terms of like bent suspension or anything. So Williams will try and gain back up from 10th place. But back at the front, Mikey Pollard leads from Edric Buchanan and Alex Ister. It is Britain versus Canada versus Norway for the win. Philip Lindquist fighting David Garrett in the background for 4th place. And what a 4th place it would be if he could get that. But on the inside goes Buchanan. Buchanan hits the front for the first time this season. Pollard in 2nd, Ister in 3rd. The 2 cars from the film build cars going to be really trying hard to get this back off Buchanan, and having each other to work with will also help. They come around onto, will it be a final lap this time? I don't think so. We have a look to see if Barney Flagman is waving it. I can't see it. As we go on board with Dave, no, that's Jason Chen in the background. Still just in his own little race at the moment in time. I thought it was with Frattini, but he's got Jake Williams trying to close him down. Then we're going to have a look at this battle here. This is David Garrett, Philip Lindquist and Reen Tysing having a fight. And Garrett currently has it ahead of Philip Lindquist. But this is allowing Marcu and Frattini to gain back on the back of these. So 4th place isn't out the question for Frattini at this moment in time. Just depending what happens all in front. But we'll go back with the leaders. This is for the penultimate time through the snake bends. Pollard leads. Buchanan 2nd. So Pollard's made it through. Probably through the S-bends of the snake. And are heading down to Oak Tree once again. So Pollard, Buchanan, Ister. They've got a nice gap. There's no reason that anybody else should win this race apart from one of them 3. There's no reason that anybody else should be on the podium apart from one of them 3 as they head down the long back straight for Frattini at the back of the group of 5 further back, where the 2 drivers are trying to fight. And Buchanan goes to the inside. Buchanan tries to take the lead down into roller coaster once again. And as they pop over hill, he does so. Buchanan now leads ahead of Pollard and Ister. Exactly the same play as last lap around. Will Pollard play it differently as we come round to start the final lap of this soft race? Some big changes as well. Buchanan up 4 places. Pollard up 5. Ister up 5. Lindquist up 9. Garrett up 12. Tysing up 8. As that changes between Garrett and Lindquist. Jake Williams still up 6 places, even though he's in 10th. And to the inside goes Pollard. Pollard going for it nice and early at turn number 1 here. Trying to make his way through. Garrett has spun round by the looks of things and is out of the pack behind. And it's Frattini who's popped up into 4th place. As side by side is Pollard and Buchanan. They head towards the chicane. And into the snake section, it'll be Pollard who has the advantage. Just on the inside line as they pull into the S-bends. Ister has a look at Buchanan. Doesn't quite make it through. But is distracting the Canadian enough to let the Brit try and run away. Dario Frattini is still not out of this one yet. He's in 4th place. Then there's a further gap back. But yes, Frattini is going to be in the battle for this win. As they come through towards the far end of the circuit at Oak Tree. A little gap there. Pollard. Frattini to the inside of Ister. Frattini up in Oak Tree. That's put him in prime position to maybe win this race with the slipstream. So now we have a look from the rear of Pollard if we can. And see how this goes. Pollard trying to weasel around the track. Buchanan trying to take his slipstream. Ister trying to get the slipstream to get past Frattini. We're 2 by 2. It's Noah's Ark here at the front of the field as they come over the hill. Who's going to come out on top? It's Pollard who's out on top. Frattini to the inside of Buchanan. They're side by side, but this is going to allow Pollard. There's a bit of contact. Frattini and Buchanan touched there, but onto the outside goes Buchanan and into the hog pen. He takes second place. Ister's there as well, but it's going to be Mikey Pollard who wins this race. Who is going to be second as they come towards the line? Dario Frattini, unless the slipstream makes a difference for either of the others. No, it's Frattini who takes second. Pollard wins from Frattini. Ister in second. Buchanan in third. Marku in fourth. Teesing fifth. Championship leader Lindquist is in seventh place, sorry. So we'll let the results just all filter themselves out as this race comes towards an end. Wow, what a race that was, with incidents galore and tough fighting galore. I wouldn't say that any of them, I don't know where that box has just come from. Just give me a minute. Where has that battle box come from? I actually don't know. Where has that come from? Who knows? Get rid of it by doing that. So we'll just wait for the whole field to finish. He's just rolled the foe out there on the circuit, I think, at this moment of time. There he is, just coming through the last few corners towards the hog pen. And then we will be able to see what the full results were for the race here at Virginia International Raceway. Here are your race results from that race. Mikey Pollard takes victory, number 1 for the season. He takes the win ahead of Dario Frattini. A great result there for both them drivers who aren't full-time drivers in the soft race. Third place for Alexander Ister, which is going to be a brilliant jump for him to move up from 7th in the championship. Edward Buchanan, 3rd in the championship, takes 4th, so that's going to improve his chances of taking the points lead at the end of this event. Marku in 5th on his recovery drive after pole position. Philip Lindquist in 6th ahead of Reed Teesing and David Garrett. Jake Williams recovered to 9th after charging through the field to first, falling to 11th and then getting back to 9th ahead of Chen. Graham Hunt had a quiet one in 11th ahead of everybody who had issues in the race, so Dennis Cav, then Frederick Surley, Crispin Williamson, who looked like could have won the race early on, Vucanovic, then your retirees, well, Rod Defoe finished a long way back, and Mario Raz retired from the race. So that is it from Virginia International Raceway. We've had an exciting race throughout that one, and we will be heading to the 6th round of the championship. We'll flip it over tonight, of course, as it always does, for the next round of the Formula Ford series. We'll just double check, where that is, because I forgot in all of my old age. So we'll just have a look now. Next race on the schedule is Mexico, a trip to the historic Grand Prix version of Mexico City. And then we head to an all-time favourite of pretty much everybody's, Alton Park, for Formula Ford week 7, that will be. So hopefully you'll join us then. And at the same time next week, goodbye. Right, hello everybody. Sorry that went that way, but I hope I did it justice. Let's just have a look now at those incidents, because that's quite... I don't really know what happened there. So if we go back to... Let's go back to here. So this was the first corner. So, right, we know what happened at first corner here. They went 3 wide. Dario obviously was being careful being in the middle of them both. And Jake's just caught the back of Jarno, which put him out wide and spun him round. And he just waited to get going, which is fair play. So he could have finished on the podium actually if he got going straight away. And we need to see what happened here. So we went 3 wide. Nothing happened on that lap. Oh, there we go. This is it. So we go down into the hog pen. Crispin has a look to the inside of Jake. Gap. Oh, there's a wobble by Crispin on the curb. Just as he catches the curb there, I think. Flicks Jake up into the air. Jake spits off that way. Dario comes round there. Bump. He goes off wide. This isn't the lap I was thinking of, actually. I think it may be this one. No, it wasn't that one. This is the one. So Dario, defending from Crispin, brakes late, or doesn't brake, gets a right swabble on. I mean, I know they do Rallycross Formula Fords in week 13, Dario, but that's a bit much. I don't even know what happened behind either. So they went through. Yeah. Nothing too wrong there. Just obviously Dario had to cut the circuit. And then... just absolute chaos, wasn't it? Was there anything else? Can't think of anything else anyway, so... we'll leave it at that now. Let me just do some maths on the finishing order. And I'll tell you the championship results. So first was Mikey Pollard. Actually, who got pole? It was Mr. Markey. Then we had... where is he? Pro got 16th. That's 2 points. So I have my own scoring system, don't worry. Adrian Mills wasn't here. Neither was Renz. Neither was Nardi. Neither was Erwin Paul. Mr. Teesing finished 7th. So he got 12 points. Carrington wasn't here. Ned Wharton. Petty. Cav. Dennis Cav, 12th. So that's 6 points. Mikey Pollard, 1. That's... and I lied. That's your second win of the season, Mikey Pollard. Wasn't your first. Mario was 17th. So he gets a point. Frederick Surley, 13th. So he gets 5. Alexista, third. So what does he get for third? Is it 21? Yeah, 21 is second, third place in a row. Mr. Garrett, 8th. So that's 10. Mr. Hunt, 11th. So he gets 7. Mr. Markey, we've got 5th. And his pole position points, so he gets 17. Buchanan, 4th. 18. Jake Williams, 10th. No, 9th in the end. So he gets 9. Philip Lindquist, 6th. 14. Who else have I missed off this list? So let's have a look. So Dario Frattini gets himself second place. That's 25, I think. Then we've got Marky Tyson Shen. Did I miss him? I missed Mr. Chen. Where is Mr. Chen? Surely you've done races this year. I have to double check that, but you finished 10th. So that's 8 points. And Crispin. Williamson. That gives you, well, you're 14th, so that gives you 4. And us. Hang on. Us. And you finished just behind, so that'd be 3. So, going off that, because for some reason feel like people should be in here who aren't in here, but it doesn't matter. We'll sort it. Cell actions, sort range, column C. There we go. So the leader of the championship is now Philip Lindquist still, 93 points. Edward Buchanan on 90. Jake Williams, 83. Marku, 76. Hunt, 5th on 60, equal with Alexista. Then it's Pollard on 60 as well. Garrett, 51. Surly, 42. Raz, top 10, 34. Dennis Cav, 32. Frattini, 25. T-Sing, 21. Peddy, 18. And Israel, 15. That's your championship order at this moment in time. Show last lap T1. Yes, I can. For yourself, was it? Oh my God. Philip, how did you get away with that? How on earth? I mean, now I can see how Dario got 4th. Oh, I've got to watch this again. No, there's no space there, Dario. There's no space. There's no space. There's no space. Why is this person giving him a car's width? You don't give Dario a car's width. Bit sideways into it all. If I was a steward, you'd probably get a penalty, but we don't have stewards, so it doesn't matter. But there, we can see what's happened. Mr. T-Sing gives the gap to Marku. Yeah, and Dario finishes P2, yeah. I mean, to be honest, you're all pretty lucky to get away with that. Yourself, you've just gone off wide, but That's net code. I mean, look at that. Huge. I'm not saying he wouldn't have hit you, but that's huge net code. Then we straightened up everybody else, and you were one spat out the other side. You went in first, you come out fifth. Oh, who's this? Oh, hello, Mr. Chen. Why did that come up as Jason Chen on my racing? Because that now explains that Jason Chen and Shui Chen is the same person. Okay, I'll have to have a look into that. So I'm sure Chen's done more than one race this season. Just getting very confused. Trying to do my own scores. Yeah, fastest lap. One more thing. Who got fastest lap? Because there is a point for fastest lap. Mikey got it. So Mikey gets a point for fastest lap, which means he actually gets 31. And moves himself up ahead of Eastern Hunting to 5th by 1 point. Yeah, you go space, David, but I'll be honest, in all of that, yes, Dario got the inside line. But I would also say, at this point here, Dario is not going to overtake. Not going to overtake. Not going to overtake. There's a Formula 4 size gap there. And the only reason everyone's fallen into each other is because they're all watching each other and Dario's took the inside line. I'm not saying it's perfect, but he isn't going a huge amount off the racing line. Yes, he is because he runs into T-Sim, but that could have been prevented. One, by defending that inside line. It wouldn't have harmed. It wouldn't have harmed everybody, to be honest. But that doesn't make it his fault. I'm just saying it could have been defended. And then, yeah, I mean, he's here at this point. Shouldn't get involved, but it's just one of them where, yes, technically Dario's fault, but somebody gave him a choice. It's like in football, when you give the ref a choice of having a red card or not, you've given him that choice, and if you get one, that's your problem. So, yeah. So that's it, really. We'll see if there's anybody to raid, because there might be some people there. Just goodbye, YouTube.